You might not understand the purpose of what's happening. And it won't make sense until the next chapter. It won't make sense until the next episode. It won't make sense until the next season. First and foremost, I feel so honored to be able to speak to you guys. Weather's changing, season changing. I know that's going to bring a lot of frustration and it's going to require a lot of endurance for a lot of you guys because this time of the year tends to bring a lot of challenges, man, a lot of uncertainty. And I just want you guys to endure. I want you guys to endure. I want you guys to endure, right? As I think over my life, actually, let's just jump into this. Church today got a great word. And one of the things that the pastor said was when a smith is making a weapon, all right, using metals, right? And they are trying to purify silver. They have to put it at very high temperature. Very high temperature. They have to keep beating on it, beating on it, beating on it with their hammer. And they keep on turning at it, turn up the fire, beating on it, beating on it, beating on it. And it has to keep looking at it until the smiths can see its reflection in the silver. And once it can see the reflection, its own reflection in the silver, it knows that silver is purified, right? And sometimes with us, man, that God is challenging us. He's putting us in the fire to purify us so that we can draw closer to him. Draw closer to him. And also, anything that God starts, anything that Jesus puts on your heart to do, he will make sure that it gets done, that you will succeed at that. So let's talk about the fire. Let's talk about the fire, right? When you're going through things, I want you to understand, because all of us are going to go through things. All of us are going to face fights that we believe we're not strong enough for. We're going to go through things that we think that we shouldn't. There's going to be so much happening in life. And at times you can feel like, why am I going through this, man? I'm a good person. I do good. I'm kind to my neighbor. I love my neighbor. I do all these good things. Why is this happening to me? Or why do I feel like this? Or why do I have these thoughts? And I'm not saying that every single thing is God challenging you, but I'm saying everything is not Satan. And everything isn't always because you've done something wrong. It's not punishment, right? Sometimes you have to go in the fire so that you can grow, because that's when we grow the most. That's when we grow the most. So I want you to know, like, don't feel discouraged or don't try to run away from what's happening in your life because it's getting challenging, because you might not understand what's going on. You might not understand the purpose of what's happening. And it won't make sense until the next chapter. It won't make sense until the next episode. It won't make sense until the next season. But as you're viewing this right now, it doesn't make sense. It's like you're reading a book and you're living a life that God has already written. He already knows what's coming, he already knows what's next, but you're living it. And as you're living your life, it doesn't make sense right now. To a reader, to you as the main character, it doesn't make sense. Why am I going through this? Why am I feeling this? Why are these thoughts? What is this? What is this? What is that? It doesn't make sense. Listen, everyone who exists for a reason, for a purpose. That when God made Adam and Eve, he created all of mankind. all of mankind. And you were predestined. God already knew your name. He already knew the time that you would be born. And he already gave you purpose. He already gave you purpose. Your job is to seek relationship. Seek relationship so that you can understand your purpose. You need to understand your purpose. You see, once you understand that, half of the battle is already done. Half of the journey is already over. Now it's just drawing closer and closer and closer so that you can hear what God is asking you to do so that you can be obedient. Right? So many I get it. And it's not like this means everybody's gonna be a pastor, everyone's gonna be this or that. Nah, sometimes God's gonna allow you to be an Olympic gold medalist because he's gonna use your testimony to give glory to him and it's gonna save souls, right? Sometimes God might allow you to speak on YouTube so you can share your testimony because it's going to give him glory and it's going to save souls. Sometimes God might let you go to a culinary arts school to make the best meals that people have ever tasted because it's going to give a testimony, it's going to bring glory to God, and it's going to save souls. So I'm not saying it's just black or white. I'm on this journey just as you guys. I'm on this journey just as you guys, and I'm learning it, and I'm just growing in what God has for me. And sometimes you struggle with even accepting it and holding it. Like, God, this is too much for me. Why do you want me to do this? And because you lack confidence in yourself. But understand this. It's not you who has to do it alone, because so many of us, if you try to do it on your own, you will not succeed, you will fail. How many of you try to do things on your own and fail? So it's like, do this with God, for his glory, for his honor, and you will find victory in that. And not selfishly, see, because God knows your heart, he knows your intention. Not selfishly, because God knows your heart, he knows your intention. Right? When you're doing what God is calling you to do and you do it to the best of your ability, God will win the victory for you. God will make sure you arrive. God will guide you. You know, God will guide you. Be confident in Jesus. And he will give you the confidence to be confident in yourself. He will give you the confidence to be confident in yourself that you are called, predestined, that he has justified you, that he has glorified you as well. And that's just something that just reminds me as I'm going through life. Because sometimes it's not even you that's going through it. It can be people that you love and care about, and it hurts you. People that you love and care about, and it hurts you. And this reminds me of this like post that I seen today. And it's something that's been going around for a bit. It says things that are in your control and things that are out of your control. In my control, how I treat others, being present, gratitude, my actions, my words, how I respond, how I spend my time, my thoughts, how I take care of myself, my attitude, walking by faith. Out of my control, changing people, other people's words, the past, how other people feel, outcomes, other people's choices, what tomorrow will bring, the weather, the opinions of others, God's timing, the other people's actions, people's perception of me. Out of my control. See, when we focus and live a life based on what is in our control, it's so refreshing and freeing. I don't know fully what God's plan is for me as far as what the next episode will be, what the next season will be, what the next year, 5, 10, 20 years will be. But I trust that God has a good plan for me, a great plan for me. There's confidence in that. There's comfort in that. There's hope, something to be hopeful for in that. That I know that I am already accounted for, taken care of, provided for. I'm already successful. Why? 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 It is in your faith, it's in your obedience, seeking a better relationship with God. Because I don't know, and you don't know either, and we don't know. But let me tell you what, it's faith. This is why you have to keep going. This is why you have to keep going. Because if you stop going, the enemy will win a battle. You see, it's not about we battle. The battle is not against flesh and blood. It's against spiritual battle. It's against principalities of this world, right? Dark entities, right? The dark rulers of this world. And the enemy wants you to fall and give up and quit, not because he has a personal beef with you. No. He has a personal beef with God. And he knows that God has chosen you and given you an assignment and a plan. So if he can get you to stop and give up on your assignment and give up on the plan that God has for you, then he will win a small battle, a small victory. And that's why you are under attack. Because see, the enemy knows the calling on your life. He knows the purpose on your life. He knows the blessing on your life. So if it can get you to crumble and stop doing what you're doing, to fall out of line, fall out of obedience, then he'll get a little bit of comfort from knowing that I stopped this person, I stopped that person, I stopped this person. That's why you got to keep going. You got to keep going for what you know God put in your heart to do, to become. You got to do it because, for one, it's obedience, understanding that all I have to do is show up and God will make a way. All I have to do is keep showing up and God will make a way. He will provide. And when I choose not to show up, I'm allowing the enemy to gain victory. I'm making decisions based on my flesh and not by my faith. Right? I love you guys, man. Take care of yourselves. Just remember to show up, be obedient, and step into what God has for you.